Thank you. Thank you for staying around for what I think before was the opening act, and now this is the main show. So thank you all for staying around. It's great to be here. Especially here so close to Fort Worth Avenue. All you know, I live over in Stevens Park, and my wife and I lived there for 9 years. I grew up in Dallas. Just absolutely love the city of Dallas and love the district. West Dallas, Oak Cliff, Mountain Creek in the Woods. And really, why I'm running is to be a council member for everyone, for all of us, West Dallas, Oak Cliff, and Mountain Creek in the Woods. Because going around, visiting everyone, going to all these forums, I realize we all want the same things. Safety's a priority. We all want to have safe neighborhoods, keep crime down. And we also want a moratorium on gas drilling. That's critical coming up. The other big issue is to continue the quality economic development. It's a big issue to involve the community in economic development decisions. That's what I did for all those years on Fort Worth Avenue. And we see that as a process that works. When we have the community involved, they help make the zoning decisions, help decide who to bring in, help to make the financial decisions. We end up with the community that we want and that we love and that continues to grow. And this approach can work throughout the district. And the other big issue when I'm running is to be responsible with our taxpayer dollars. We all know money's tight, and we just got to make it go farther. And so that's what makes this election so important. It's not only the gas drilling issues to bring in safety, it's continuing this organic model of growth that's going to bring economic development. And then the yield needs 30 seconds, so learn the rules. And then the third part is we do need someone in office who's financially responsible. So that's certainly why I'm running for office. I'm certainly proud to be here. It's much better to be in here than out in the parking lot where I was for a few minutes. And I'm ready to take any questions. So please fire away.
Who wants to be first? This is our last part. Please take the microphone.
Mr. Griggs, I have a question for you. I've been the precinct chairman of my precinct for 41 years. In the last 4 years, I haven't had a representative. He's never returned my phone call. He's never called me. If you were elected, would you return my phone calls? That's not the embarrassing. One of the things that Mr. Newman mentioned, which I don't think his numbers are right, just like every other call I made in his office for dozens over the years, he's failed to return and respond. And I called his office the other day, and tonight he told us that the community of the district now, according to the U.S. Census, is 51% Hispanic, 33% African American, and 16% Anglo. That's not what the Census Department says. I'm still asking him to put that in writing to me. But my question to you is, considering that the district's at least 84% plus however many American Indian and Asians are in the district, would you be in favor of creating a district that would be more fairly representative of the ethnic makeup of the district?
Well, it's a two-part question. One, on getting in touch with me. I'm easy to get hold of. If you pick up any of my campaign literature, is this the right distance to hold the microphone? Yeah. It's hard to tell the feedback. Okay. So right about here. My phone number's on the literature, so pick it up. It's 214-695-7471. It's on all the campaign literature. You're welcome to give me a call. It's my cell phone number. And on the second part of the question, I'm a big believer in the Voter Rights Act and of that legislation. And we do need a district. There's going to be a couple of priorities. One, with redistricting, we're going to design districts that all have the same number of people. District 3 went up in population, so our District 3 is going to have to go into another district. That's number one. Number two, we need to create opportunities for all ethnic groups. So that needs to be reflected in the district. And also the priority for redistricting is to protect communities of interest. And we all associate ourselves as a community of interest. We're here in North Oak Cliff, and certainly the Stevens Park, the El Tivoli, in Kessler, all consider themselves a community of interest, so that'll be something to protect too. And it'll be a balancing that goes through all those steps like it does every 10 years. And I believe we're going to get to some good districts drawn by the end of it. Thank you.
Scott, one of the things that Dave mentioned, and I've heard other people mention too, is that he has a monthly meeting with the presidents of neighborhood groups. Obviously, the league is very interested in neighborhood groups. Will you commit to continuing that policy?
Yes, right now Councilman Newman has what's called a quarterly president's breakfast. Where just the presidents of the neighborhood associations are invited. I'm more in favor of keeping that, but adding in more town hall meetings. I think for the last 4 years, we haven't had enough town hall meetings in Oak Cliff where everyone can come, visit their council member. We can move the meetings around to different parts of the district every month, where you can interact with me, let me know what the issues are ahead of time, and I'll bring some city staff out, and whoever's necessary, if it's from DART, from COG, from TxDOT, any other organization, bring them out, and we'll communicate and talk about the issues. That's something that we've lacked over these past 4 years, is enough communication, enough responsiveness, enough transparency, enough community meetings, and I'm committed to turn that around and make a difference for the next 2 years. Thank you.
The issue of gas well drilling, what is the city's qualifications to regulate the industry? Because I'm concerned that the industry holds all of the trump cards and the people regulating the industry hold no trump cards at all.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Baker. That's an excellent question. Where we are right now with gas drilling, I'm calling for a moratorium because we don't have the regulatory environment for it to move forward. We can look at the federal level. The EPA right now is saying fracking isn't regulated by the Clean Air and Water Act due to what's called the Halberd loophole. And so that's getting re-examined. You need these chemicals to be regulated. So that's for one reason why you absolutely need a moratorium and this should go forward. Also right now with the TCEQ down in the state, they don't even have any guidelines for regulating spills or reporting spills. What do you do when some fracking fluid spills? How do you manage what chemicals go into fracking? How do you decide how close it is to your back door? I think 300 feet is way too close. Even the other proposals right now in Fred Allen's neighborhood, that's 600-700 feet away from his house. That's completely unacceptable for that kind of operation when you're putting 12 wells up, 14 wells up. That's why we need to call for a moratorium. I know my opponent has gone on record last September 22nd saying fracking was a sweetheart deal and it was good for the taxpayers. On November 18th, he declared he was going to form a task force to look into it. Over 3 months went by to February 24th, 2011, and he hadn't even formed a task force yet. That's because he's been bought and paid for by big oil and big gas. They've given him contributions, and he's telegraphing that he wants to go forward with this. The biggest sign was that he postponed the vote on this until after the election. And that's just not right. I'm a person who's going to take a position, take a stand. I'm going to protect our neighborhoods and say we shouldn't bring dangerous gas drilling into the city of Dallas. That's what I stand for. Thank you.
On the drilling issue, we were told that the city received $34 million, which has already been spent. How do you say no? How would you say no? And what would you do about the $34 million?
Well, we would have to look at the issues with the $34 million. But what's more important than money, I'll go on record saying that, are people's lives, people's property values, the quality of our air, and the quality of our environment. Because we have to give money back for legal reasons, if it's decided in the language of the contract. We can find money to give back, but we can't, if something goes wrong, return the quality of our water if it gets polluted. We can't return the quality of our air. We can't return our health if it gets lost and someone gets cancer or something else bad happens from these chemicals. So that's much more important. And we have to get our priorities straight with this. It's about the health of the environment. It's about the health of our families. It's about our property values. And then way, way, way down the list is the profits of Exxon and XTO.
Isn't it true that the gas companies do not have to, are not required to tell you what chemicals they use in their fracking process?
Thank you for the question. That's absolutely true. Right now, under the EPA regulations, under the state regulations, under the city regulations, they do not have to disclose what chemicals go into fracking fluid. And that's scary. It's one of the few processes that exist that involve carcinogens, known carcinogens. I have a degree in chemistry, so I'm familiar with chemicals, with benzenes, various diesel and ethyl derivatives, that you can put these chemicals into the ground near people's homes, and you don't have to disclose what's going in there. And that's just not right. And that's why we need to take a stand for Dallas on this issue. And it's not an issue to wave in the wind on, to blow both directions, not to have a firm stance on. That's why I have such a strong position on this, because our lives and health are so important.
Everybody, please speak distinctly into the microphone because the folks in the back.
Okay, I'll do my best. Scott, glad you're here. I brought this, as everybody knows, I've been showing this wonderful brochure that talks about the accomplishments of a current city council person. And so I'll ask you the same question I asked him. Are you currently, or have you ever received money from the gas and oil industry? And if so, how do you convince us that that's something that creates a conflict of interest when it comes to voting for what's best for the citizens of our district?
I have taken no campaign contributions from the oil and gas industry or from any of their executives. So I'm free to do what I want. I don't owe anyone anything. And even if they give me money and I don't know about it, and it hasn't happened, I don't want it to happen. And so I'm free to make up my own mind. And that's the difference between these races. Because it's probably, many of you know Raymond Crawford, his great website on gas drilling. He's posted some of the known contributions from big oil and gas executives to my opponent's campaign. I haven't taken any contributions from these people. I'm going to do the right thing once in office when this comes back up for vote. Thank you.